Hey guys, good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Well, here we go with another one. But before we get started, let's just go ahead and glorify God and thank Him for all He does. We praise His holy name, for giving us this day and the days ahead. His will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. It's good to know that we have life because of Him, and His will prevails against all that of the principalities and evil that exist in this world. With that said, I just want to say I love you guys, and I take pleasure in doing these type of things because it's fun for me to be able to share these little drives with you guys, and I'm gonna just share them. Right now we're going to the car wash. The car needs a little bit of cleaning. I got a subscription, so I take it there. I want to show you guys in probably the next 1 or 2 videos the current selection of cars and Teslas. This is Tesla relative, and then I want to do a comparison between this 2021 performance and the 2024 re-engineered Model 3 long range that I'll probably be getting here in a few days. But I'm gonna stack this up against the performance Model Y that I have as well, and just do a quick video, exterior, interior, outside, roundabout. I know probably a ton of those, but from my perspective, this is just something I want to do. All right, well, I'm gonna minimize my talking, glorify God. Let's just go ahead and get into this this drive. Let me clean the windshield here before we get on the road. Make sure that looks nice and clean for you guys. I know where the main focus here is the screen inside, but you got enough perspective on the road ahead to kind of see what we're what we're encountering as we traverse this distance. All right, well, thanks, man, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna narrate as we go just to identify pros and cons, but I hope you enjoy it, and let's get it on. All right, here we go. All right, so it went around that car, no problem. It's coming up to a stop sign. No problem with these type of things. It works real well. It depicts the lady across the street with the animals. Doesn't show dogs yet, but it showed her nonetheless. Coming up on the next stop sign. Now, I'm curious about this one. I want to know if it's going to hesitate because the road to the right is incomplete, as you were seeing as we were approaching. So I want to see if it's going to hesitate, and it is. See, it's doing it now. It's hesitating. It's going out because it's trying to see what it sees, but it's a little slow on the take. I didn't do anything with the throttle. Now, normally, if someone is behind me, I'll nudge it just a little bit, but it takes a little while on that one just because I think is expecting the road to be complete on the right, and it's not. But all right, let's do this. I'm gonna leave the map up. I think it's not a whole bunch. See what it does with this car coming out to the intersection. Let's see if it brakes. Nope, it didn't hesitate. It just knows it has the right of way, so it didn't even like slight braking or anything. It just kind of, I noticed it veered to the right a little bit just to create a larger berth between it and that approaching car, but no, it handled it very well, so kudos. All right, so coming up to our first main transition here. Just to show the intersection a little better. You don't need to see the side cameras. Alright, there wasn't really no cars coming, so no real challenge there, but it handled that intersection fairly well. So I still have auto speed enabled, the jury's out whether I like it or not. It seemed to have its own mind, and like right now you just saw it went up from like 31 to 33, and then I looked behind and I saw a car approaching, and I noticed that when a car comes behind you and it's just, and prior to that, if it was just going at a moderate pace above the speed limit, it will speed up if it feels like a car is pushing it. It won't get ridiculous. So like you said, so like we just went up to 35, so you know we're equal or greater than what the posted speed limit is. So because that car is still behind of us now, it's exceeding that 35 it has, and it's going up to 37. It feels like it's still kind of accelerating 38, and it's all because it now sees it has traffic behind, so it doesn't want to be the reason why traffic is being delayed, which is fair. And right now it's 4 over the speed limit, and most people, to include myself, drive about 5 over the speed limit when traffic permits. Alright, this is an unprotected left, so we're going to kind of see what it does, and around this time I would expect it to have a little bit of outbound traffic. Let's see what it does. Let's get a bit of broader perspective on the intersection. So there's a car coming, but the car is in the second lane over. There's a 2-lane both directions, and it never goes. It always waits for that car to approach. And I don't know. We would have went because we know the inside lane, but if you put it in true perspective, the question begs is that person has the right to come over at any time. So safer than sorry. It just chooses to not go just in the event that car decides to switch lane at the last minute, and it creates a scenario. But you would have expected it because technically and legally we have the right to turn to the inside lane, which we're supposed to turn to the inside lane, and FSD don't normally, under no circumstances, when it makes a right turn or left turn into the parting lanes, it does not go into the far lane. It always turns into, per the law, it turns into the immediate lane, and then it switches over, right? I know here in Florida that's a challenge. People just immediately transition right into that far lane, even because for various reasons. The next turn is theirs that way, and I get it, and or that's the lane that's going to take them to their destination, so they just hang in that lane because it's comfortable to not have to change lanes, right? But you know, FSD plays by the rules. All right, this intersection here, it negotiates well. 11 could not handle this. It would be, the steering wheel will be just oscillating, and it'll be jerking, trying to decide if it's gonna go. It's night and day transition through this. So we're not taking any freeway. We're gonna take the back roads. I got till 8 o'clock to get to this car wash, so I think we should be able to make it. If not, oh well, consider it a FSD drive, right? But we're going to be on just all the local roads and just see how it handles, because the stock for the freeway, we know how it is. I think it's improved with FSD v12, but doesn't show you kind of just subtle things about being on the freeway or any major highway, but you see it more in the city driving for sure. All right, I'm hoping to do some of that seamless transition, and I do have it set up for, just look, yeah, assertive. I know I can do it with the scroll wheel, but I don't know if it takes effect. I don't know how that, because right now I would have expected assertive to move over, seeing that this lane wasn't moving fast and the left lane is open, but it doesn't. It's for some reason, once in a while it does it, but majority of the time it stays in the lane that it needs to be in, which is good and bad, because if this traffic isn't moving at the speed limit pace, like right now we're doing 43, but the speed limit is 45, the car is still in this lane, and the right lane is fairly open, right? I mean, sorry, the left lane is fairly open right now, but it won't switch lane. Now, for obvious reasons, if you look on the map, we're about to make a right turn at this light up ahead, So for that reason, it probably just like, okay, chill, I'm almost there kind of thing. No need to be switching lanes unnecessarily. If it knew what I knew, there's a wall green here, there's a whole bunch of right turns, at least three. Yeah, 3 right turns here before the street, before the street light. So it's possible any of these people in front of us can be making those turns, which is, again, it slows down this lane and it hinders it, because the lane, the adjacent lane, excuse me, is a right turn in lane too, as you can see here in the map and then the FSD. Where's the X? So it won't do it, and I notice on the highway it does it a lot more frequently, and even then it don't push it. It does it more, but it doesn't do it rapidly. And assertive used to be really aggressive when it comes to that, but now it's not. It's just super dial back. It's definitely noticeable. Even 11 showed way more assertiveness or aggression when it comes to passing cars. The jury's out on from my perspective, whether or not I like that or hate that, because sometimes someone can be really going slow, and I don't know how slow it would take before FSD decide to go around on a vehicle. But right now I haven't met the scenario where it showed me that reality. So like right now, okay, so it did it now because the 2 lanes to the right, with the exception of that car, was open, and it went around this guy. But it's not aggressive on the speed at all, even though the 2 cars on the left has passed us. And this car here to the right is kind of matching this car's speed, and it's less than the speed limit, because the speed limit is 45, but we're doing 40. And now it's gradually starting to speed up, but it's hesitating. See, I told you guys I was going to be honest with this thing. It's like it's reluctant to pass this car on the right, and I don't know why, and everything on our left is passing us. So it gradually got up to 45, and it's just hanging out here at 45. So I don't know, man. But then other times they do just way different characteristics and behavior. So I don't know if it's just the newer network still trying to render or understand circumstances. But right now, all 3 lanes around me are wide open. So it's doing 46 in the middle lane. And the speed posted speed limit, as you can see, is 45. And it's it's just not. I don't expect it to speed, don't get me wrong. Are we supposed to technically do the speed limit? Yes. Does it hurt to go a little bit over the speed limit? No, not necessarily, especially when there's no harm to it, where I don't know why. I guess it's 725. I was expecting a little more resistance on the traffic at this time, but yeah, that's how it works out, right? But now it's just choosing to cruise, and maybe it doesn't see a need to go any faster than what it's going. Again, it's an auto, so auto makes determination based on weather, circumstances, environment, the whole 9 yards. This is auto speed, it is not FSD. So it's weird that it's not making no. It's not pushing it. It's not exceeding the limits. I don't know what to say. To be honest with you guys, it's just random. Right now, that's how we perceive what it does. I'm trying to see if there's a connection to circumstances around the car that leads it to not do certain things. So we'll keep playing with it, and we'll keep doing these recordings, going to various places around Central Florida, and maybe even outside of Florida. Oh, not Florida, but outside of Orlando or Central Florida. As things occur, I'm definitely wanting to once I get the 2024 re-engineer, that car is gonna have FSD on it as well. So once I get that car, I want to see if any of the car's characteristics changes pertaining to that having hardware for 4.0. I want to see what it does relative to this car. Right now, Tesla is giving everybody FSD for 30 days, so I'm sure YouTube is going to be flooded with a whole bunch of impromptu videos about FSD, because it's the first time a lot of people have had FSD, that Tesla owners have had FSD. You know, most people don't buy it, they just subscribe to it periodically. And now the whole world, I would say the whole world, but let's say I don't know if it's just the US, or if it is indeed everywhere that Tesla offer FSD is getting it for 30 days, but I can speak for the US. So right now the US is getting it for 30 days, and we all know that's just to give you a taste, to incentivize purchases, right? But 30 days, nah. Most people for 12,000, nah. Trust me, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and they're gonna take their 30 days and run, because that's a lot of moolah for software that's drastically improved, just not perfect, right? And most people don't trust it enough. Now, I've been dealing with FSD for a very long time, and I know its limitation, so it doesn't bother me to let the car drive. I would dare to declare some of the craziness I've done with FSD back in my days when I first got it, but I'll keep that I'll keep that to myself for now. I'm sure some of you guys have your own stories, but you see, I mean, it's just cruising 45 and it's doing well. It's not creating no scenario. There's cars behind me, there's cars passing me on the right hand side. It's holding this left lane, and I know why, because the next turn is going to be a left. But you see, it's slowing down to 15. It's showing 15 there. It just bumped back up to 45. I don't know why. Weird, because there wasn't nothing indicating 15, but the posted speed limit on the screen showed 15, and it's doing 45 exactly okay, it just went up to 46. And there's cars pushing me behind, and there's cars to the right of me, and it's not showing no change because of the circumstances around it. So sometimes you get it though. Sometimes when cars come up behind you, it starts to accelerate. Now, is it a delay because now it's at 47, but these cars have been behind me from the light we just passed, and to the point where most are going around me in the right lane, which I hate forcing people to do that, you know, because I don't like people who just hang out in the left lane. We had that conversation on the last drive, but a lot of people do it. So, but you say one to say two, because, you know, like that black car we just passed on the left, 11 would have got on the brakes there because it would have thought that car was coming into its lane. This car, it didn't phase. Now, this is some weird stuff. Now it moves over into the right lane when it knows, unless it's going a different path. It looked like it's going a different path. Okay, it is going a different path. It's not going the path I thought it was supposed to, or it should have been going. I'm gonna let it drive, just because I don't, this drive is for you guys, not for me. So let's see what happens here. So he moves into the right lane, which is a good call. I mean, the line is a lot longer in the left lane, but I don't know. We're gonna need to be in the left lane at some point, I think, to turn right on Semoran. No, I hope I selected the right place. I just assumed this place was gonna be maybe I did. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I'm sure I did, because we still got, even if we made the left hand leave Vista, we still would have had to drive quite a ways up Semoran to get to I selected the Popeyes because, here we go, we got a bike scenario, and car's in the bike lane. Let's see what the car does. It's still going. It's confident with the drive, 32. It moved over slightly, but it didn't do anything erratic. All right, cool. Yeah, if I had selected the actual car wash I'm going to, it would take me in the back, and that road has been closed off. And so it's not a FSD thing, it's a Google thing, right? Just like Google will send you left to come right back right. You know, you guys know how that works. So anyway, let's see what it does. I'm curious. I normally never go this way, but I want to. Well, I never go this way, not to go to the car wash. But I'm curious if I selected a car wash in a different location from where I'm not a car wash, a Popeyes, which is next to the car wash. If I selected a location there where it's farther or north, it can't be because they're saying we got 7 minutes. Well, you never know. These things are a dime a dozen. So it slowed down gently for this car transition over. The lane opened up, but it's still going 40, and the speed limit is 45. And like I said, I selected assertive. So you would think, I'm not asking it to go above the speed limit, but now you see the 15 there again. Why? There's nothing here saying 15. I see. I got to nudge it because this is really bad for people behind me. This is unacceptable. Doing the speed limit is one thing, but why are you defaulting to 15 when there's no signs around here saying 15? Especially when the last sign I saw was 45. Now, I don't know if this is something embedded in Google that's causing it to do that. And there's probably a strong possibility that's real, that is grabbing that speed limit from Google, but it's definitely not here in the streets. It's not a visual thing. So, like I said, right, not perfect. Better, and 100 folds, not 100 times, 100 folds better than version 11 in terms of how it handles city driving. I hadn't had to intervene with the exception of this 15-mile-an-hour thing it was just started to do, and it's still showing it there. I don't know what it is because everything is 0. Auto speed is selected. I don't have any other offsets in there that might cause it to respond in this way that it's doing, and definitely don't have no offset in there to dictate speed limits. So I am convinced that it's our good old Google and this horrible map that it sometimes imposes upon us. Trust me, I use Google a lot, so I can say that. I just know sometimes it drives me nuts in the manner and the direction that it's trying to tell me to go, when it makes no sense when something is right here, but it wants me to go in a very circuitous route. All right, so we're still at 15. 45 is speed limit is right here. If it doesn't jump, I'm gonna do it. Okay, it jumped on its own. Google, welcome. Anyway, guys, so let's see. So it is going to turn right up here. This road here is, what road are we on? We're on Hoffman Avenue. Yep, and we're going to cross over Semoran. Well, it would cross over Semoran, so we're going to make a right on Semoran to go up to the Popeyes. And then from there, I'll just end it at Popeyes because the car wash is right next to it. And it's definitely not going to navigate the car wash. Not yet, at least. But they have car wash mode for those of you that know that. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it through its paces on both cars. I was thinking since I have it on the Y now too, to do a couple on the Y just to see if we see any, because the Y has a higher perspective, so it sees the road from a different vantage point. So I was just wondering, maybe I should try a few drives in the Y just to see what it does and see if it handles any differently or it performs any differently. So we'll see. Got 30 days to make that decision. But I'm definitely curious to get it in a 2024 because I want to see if hardware 4 has any differences from hardware 3, right? So these two cars turned in front of me, it barely eased up just a little bit, but definitely wasn't slime on the brake type scenario, which is pretty cool. Okay, we got to make our right onto Semoran now. Let's see. So it has a kind of veered back over. I don't know, it's because two humans were walking there, which they weren't quite in the path or even close to it. But hey, we got the light, but we got a pedestrian here in the corner. and no worries, it just made the turn, didn't even hesitate. All right, now we're on our way to the destination. So I'm curious to see if this is going to turn into the actual Popeyes, or it's going to make that circuitous route that it tries to do for the car wash. It looks like it's just going to make the right into the Popeyes, which is cool, because that's the expectation. Now I know when I'm coming to the car wash, I need to just set the Popeye versus using the actual car wash address. Yep, I can see it on the map already. It's just gonna hit the Popeyes as expected. But it's 46. The speed limit is 50. I don't get it. At least do the speed limit. Why would it be so slow? I mean, is it because it's getting dawn? I don't know, man. I can't figure it out, but you just gotta let it do what it does, right? That's the whole point here. And I know from the first iteration of this V12, and I heard, through some other YouTubers, that the Tesla dialed back because it was just a little too aggressive, right? So I don't know how much they dial it back and to what extent. So it is what it is. We'll see. I know it picks the more gentle approach to everything, which, hey, look, the key is to be safe, right? So as long as it's safe and it's getting you to your destination, I know the hindrance is people, right? So maybe what I'll do is try to influence with the roller if I can change the speed. It doesn't let me change it when it's in max. So now this is the turn it's supposed to make. Okay, signal on, it made the turn, no problem. And then it's gonna turn into Popeye, and that's the car wash there to the right. So this was easy. So it makes the turn here into Popeye, and I think if it doesn't go right, I'm gonna kill it, because I need it to go right towards. Yep, it went right. I should have put on the signal, but that's cool. It literally brought me into Popeye's parking lot. Don't go left, because I'm gonna cancel it. Well, actually, let me see where it's gonna take me, just for the heck of it, right? We're already here. Let's see if it takes me to the drive-thru or what it does. We can easily turn around. It almost look like it's going to the drive-thru, guys. I'm not kidding you. That would be weird. Nope. It brought me to the entrance to the drive-thru. No kidding. This is here to the left, and I'll show you guys this, right? Because this is where it brings me when I want to go to the car wash, to this dead end right here to the right that I'm pointing at right here. So it used to maybe going that way, but it did bring me right exactly to the drive-thru. This is where it stopped, right here. So that's pretty cool. All right, so guys, once again, man, I'm gonna try to keep these short and sweet as much as possible. I just want you guys to have these exposures. Thank you for hanging out if you did, and like I said, let me know what you guys are interested in seeing FSD doing, if you have that desire. Other than that, God bless you all. Love you all. Continue to follow that path that he's established for you, for it's the righteous path. It's the path to salvation, and this is where we all should seek to end up, right? I look forward to seeing all you guys in heaven, right? This is the only desire for me. I don't need anything else from you on earth, because everything we desire is with God. This stuff here is temporary, is carnal, and it will come to an end. It actually has to burn, right? So he can bring anew that which is salvation, that which is paradise. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. All right, love you. God bless you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.